So this pile right here is from the middle mine. There's a mine down there at the bottom. And there's more up on the hill. So here we are on the waste pile, kind of the middle workings of the Red Elephant mine. There you go, that's part of it. If you walk up here, you can see down. See if we can get a better view. There we go. So here we got the workings about 2/3 of the way up the mountain, including the old ore chute, waste pile, the shaft that was right there. Here's one of the shafts up Red Elephant. Here about 2/3 of the way up. That's all that's left, I should say. If you look right there, there's the waste pile from it. Okay, so here we are, the main road. There's the ore bin or chute, and this big waste pile from the shaft up there. And here we have a boiler, it looks like. I have tried to discover what brand it is. Haven't had a whole lot of luck, but I believe it's a boiler. So this is last year when I first looked at it. This is where it was. Position hasn't changed. You can see inside there. So I'm not quite sure what era this is from. I think it's from when they were working this in the 60s, 50s and 60s. But you can see whether they left it in this position or it rolled over or something, I don't know. But there you go. So here we are at what is arguably the most prominent of the features out here at the Red Elephant area. This is the ore processing chute, ore loading chute, that they built probably in the 60s. I'm assuming by looking at the nails, although I could be wrong. I've been trying to do some research and haven't found out a whole lot, so you can see just the piles of oxidized ore that are still here. Like that one there still has some galena on it. So this ore chute is actually a little bit worse for the wear this year than it was last year, last time I was here before the winter. So it looks like the heavy snowfall took a toll on it. You can see there's 1, 2, 3 ore loading chutes where they would back carts or trucks up to it. You can see that if we look in here, a lot of it has collapsed in. In fact, that's a lot more than last year. So the snow, the heavy snowfall we had over the winter really did a number on this. You can see some of the supports are starting to split here and here. The big thing is we can still see inside, and you can still see the wood bottom where they loaded all the ore in. This to me is a really special piece of the history out here. Oop. Always got to be careful climbing on these waste piles. And it would be great to have some preservation efforts to keep it in place, because it truly is a really cool relic of the past. Here is the back of the ore loading chute. You see it's a lot worse for the wear back here. So this kind of gives you a good idea of the operation. So up there on the hillside, you can see some narrow gauge tracks from the ore carts. And they would load them down here. So they would come from up here, so right about there, and they would load them down here on a track and dump it down into this ore bin here. And I haven't been able to find any pictures of this, but I found some evidence to suggest that they had the tracks coming out from the shafts back there. So as you can see, it's pretty worse for the wear. All of this is collapsed, the roof is collapsed. Last year, some more of this was standing that is no longer standing from the snow. But it still shows us kind of what they were working with at that time, and just the sheer level of effort that was involved. So here we are at the mine shaft that fed directly into the ore bin right over there. As you can see, there's still some narrow gauge tracks left from when they closed up operations. They are a little worse for the wear, but we can still tell what they were. Here's some more right here, and you can see this conduit tubing. It was either for electrical or for air or for water or whatever it was that they were either pumping in or out. We have this waste dump right here. We have some lumber left over. And then we come over here. We have the portal itself. Right there. So interestingly, whenever they stopped working this, the water levels rose, and I don't know if you can hear it through this video, but there's actually a slight trickle of water coming out of there. And you can see there's a willow that's planted itself right here in the middle of an area that doesn't have any willows. So that's pretty amazing. And we've got some long grass. Now this is here year-round, and it doesn't really wilt like the rest of the grass around it. So this isn't from the heavy snow year or from the recent heavy rains we've got. It's there year-round. You look there, we have some more narrow gauge track, and then we've got the shaft up there, or an adit, or whatever. 1, 2, 3. Got another one over there, and there's actually one over there. Now when we get up to the top of the hillside, and there's one there as well, when we get up over the top of the hillside, it actually takes us down into Bullion Gulch, an area we will focus on later. But this is kind of the main working area of the upper workings of the Red Elephant mine. And this gives you an idea of the extent of the operations. I've heard that they stopped mining here anywhere between 1962 and 1967. I've also heard mid-50s. So I won't give you a definite date on that. But here is the rest of the waste pile, the little bit of debris there. And then that's looking down, all the way down at the bottom there is the first Red Elephant mine area, which we talked about earlier. And then the hill here. Red Elephant workings, about 3/4 up the mountainside. And here we have pretty much a vertical shaft. It runs along this ledge here, and it goes up into the waste pile up there. The condition has not changed much in the last few years. Here's where it is in reference to the rest of the site. There's the main road that winds its way up past the ore chute, and there is the waste dump that we were looking at down from below. And the main site with the ore chute and stuff is down about 100 feet below that waste dump. Here we are at the upper levels of the Red Elephant workings. Whew. Sorry, I'm out of breath. And then you can see down there is the ore bin, and the mine's down there. So it's quite an impressive mine. The elevation gain is pretty impressive, and there's not much up here. Looks like they just did some exploratory work. So there you have it. The first part of the Red Elephant Mine.